Color is a fundamental element in visual communication. It is capable of evoking a wide range of emotions. Color significantly influences visual perception. Understanding color properties is essential for photographers. Key color properties include hue, saturation, and brightness. Effective use of color conveys mood and meaning in images. Warm colors, reds, oranges, yellows, often evoke feelings of energy and passion. Cool colors, blues, greens, purples, often convey a sense of calm and tranquility. Photographers can strategically use these color associations to set a photograph's tone. The deliberate use of color can enhance the emotional impact of an image. Complementary colors are pairs located opposite each other on the color wheel. These colors create strong visual contrast when placed next to each other. This contrast makes subjects stand out and adds vibrancy to the image. Balancing the intensities of complementary colors is crucial to avoid overwhelming the viewer. Mastering complementary colors enhances a photographer's ability to create impactful visual stories. Black and white photography eliminates color, focusing attention on fundamental elements. Key elements include form, which defines the shapes and structures within the image. Tonal range, the spectrum of light to dark, becomes a primary component. Without color, shapes and contrasts are emphasized, creating visual impact. This emphasis enhances the emotional resonance and depth of the photograph. Removing color from an image shifts focus to the subject's tactile qualities. Monochromatic images emphasize the interplay of light and shadow. This technique can evoke deeper emotional responses in the viewer. It also draws attention to the underlying structure and form of the scene. Contrast is a fundamental element in black and white photography. The juxtaposition of deep blacks and bright whites creates visual interest. Strong contrast makes the photograph more impactful. It helps to define shapes and textures within the image. This adds depth and dimension to the photograph. Long exposure photography requires a camera mounted on a tripod for stability. The camera's shutter remains open for an extended duration, often several seconds or minutes. This prolonged exposure captures movement and light trails. These effects are not visible in standard instantaneous photographs. The technique allows for recording details beyond normal perception. Light trail photography involves using a long exposure time on a camera at night. The camera's shutter remains open for an extended period, capturing movement over time. Moving lights, like car headlights, are recorded as continuous streaks or trails. This technique transforms nighttime cityscapes into dynamic visual displays. Glowing light trails add an element of motion and energy to the photograph. The resulting images reveal the passage of time through the paths of light. Long exposure photography can transform moving water into smooth textures. This technique is effective for capturing waterfalls and ocean waves. The camera's shutter remains open to accumulate the water's motion. This process blurs individual droplets, creating an ethereal effect. Minimalism starts with simplicity, emphasizing a single, isolated subject. Eliminating distractions enhances the subject's presence and impact. Vast emptiness emphasizes the subject's singular story. In minimalism, less is more, conveying a powerful message through simplicity. Negative space provides visual breathing room in a composition. Surrounding emptiness amplifies the subject's significance. Extensive negative space accentuates movement and freedom. Emptiness is a powerful tool in minimalist composition. Minimalism in visual arts often employs a single, bold subject to capture attention. A clean background enhances the subject, creating a striking contrast. This contrast emphasizes the subject's visual impact through stark simplicity. The technique ensures a lasting visual impression with minimal elements. A tripod is essential for night photography due to the need for long exposures. Long exposures require the camera to remain perfectly still. The tripod stabilizes the camera, preventing unwanted motion blur. Using a wide-angle lens, allows for capturing a broader view of the night scene. A remote shutter release is recommended to minimize camera shake. The remote ensures that pressing the shutter button doesn't introduce movement. Achieving well-exposed night photos requires careful balancing of camera settings. A wide aperture, for example, f/2.8, allows more light to enter the camera lens. A slower shutter speed, for example, 10 seconds, enables the sensor to capture light over a longer duration. Increasing the ISO, for example, ISO 800, enhances the camera's sensitivity to light, but requires careful adjustment to avoid excessive noise. Light painting is a photographic technique using long exposure times. It involves using handheld light sources to illuminate a scene. Common light sources include flashlights and sparklers. Photographers move the light source during the exposure. This creates unique patterns and effects in the final image. Experimentation is crucial for mastering light painting.